Let's keep going. Let's go a little bit with high and low context cultures. So low context is more your cold climate culture. High context is more your warm climate culture. So this is just important to know about the philosophy of communication, just to kind of have this as a tool. So for cold climate cultures, they're very direct, all right? Their value is that it's about passing on information, it's not personal. Communication is not personal, especially in a work environment. Communication is not personal, it's for information. At work, it's to be efficient. At home, it can be more relational, okay? But that's the feeling of communication. And what I say is what I believe, all right? So I want to say it as quickly as I can, as efficiently as I can, because words equal truth. So that's the feeling of communication in a cold climate. In a warm climate or a high context culture, it's very indirect, all right? So you beat around the bush, you make sure you have plenty of relational time, because communication is always personal. It's never not personal. So it's meant to make people feel good. It's not just about passing on information. It's so that people feel good, okay? At work it's relational, at home it's relational, it's always relational. And the interesting thing in warm climate cultures is that action actually equals truth. So you can say what you want all day long, but until your actions follow up on that, okay? So for example, a cold climate person comes to you and apologizes, all right? I can say, oh, please forgive me for this, I'm really sorry I did that, yada, yada, yada. My words mean I'm sorry. If I go to somebody in a warm climate culture and I go to apologize, I could maybe say it with my words, but I wouldn't even necessarily have to do that. But if I know that Steve and I we had a bit of a falling out, we had a bit of a disagreement, and then tomorrow I bring him a cup of coffee, that tells him, my actions tell him I'm sorry. And I want us to be good. So you can say you're sorry, but then you better back it up with action. Yeah. So if you think about it, some of us both have places where we think the others aren't telling the truth. So for example, when you ask somebody from a warm climate culture where the post office is or where the train station is, and they go, oh, over there, right? And they don't know where the train station is, they don't know where the post office is, but they want you to feel good about communication. They want it to be relational, but what they do is they read each other's cues. And so by the look of people's eyes, I know then that you don't know, it's just to make me feel good. Now, even if I don't have milk in the house, I'll ask you if you want milk or coffee. If I have no coffee in the house, I'll still ask you if you want coffee. If you say yes, then I'm going to go run out and go get some coffee. But that's why in another culture you always ask 3 times. So it's polite to say no. If they ask you a second time, then they probably actually have it and can serve it. But the first one is just to make you feel good. If I had coffee, I would give it to you. All right, so it's all about feeling good about communication. All right, and your nonverbals are actually telling you what's true and what's not true.
Would you say that America is low context or high context?
Oh, very low
Low
context.
context. Can you be high context in America?
You can
Would
be.
you say from the
South?
south?
Well, I'm Mennonite, so I'm a bit more on this because I actually come from a warm climate culture within the cold climate.
What about the South?
The South is more warm climate. Yeah,
Canadians?
Canadians, I think, would be.
I think we're still low context.
we're still low context. But okay, so then people come here from a warm climate culture and you go, hey, how are you?
Okay.
Well, they think we're liars
Yep.
because we actually don't care.
I've heard so many people say that.
It's one of the most painful things for people when they come here.
It's true, though.
Because your words mean absolutely nothing if you don't stop and really want to know. So it's action is truth. For us, words is truth. And this is like a fundamental miscommunication that happens in cross culture. Okay?